Alright, we are back in business. And I'm fucked up like always. So, here to see Jason at Kenetic Sports Spine. He's gonna stab me up. I've got some shit messing up this shoulder. You guys will see it. I'm doing some dry needling. He's also a chiropractor, so I might have him doing a little adjustment. And after this, we're going straight to back. We might even get that in for you too. Come in. Come check it out.
Come on back, Dusty.
I'm giving the camera the tour.
Oh, give me a tour.
Come in.
I wish I had my wall knocked out.
This is phase one here. Phase one. Jason hasn't completely gotten rid of all his money yet, but we're working on it.
Jason Avakian, Kenetic Sports and Spine. We're actually in our newest location as of 3 months, which is more focused on the athletes that we see, bodybuilders, CrossFitters. We still have our CrossFit gym next door that we're affiliated with, but the primary space is a combination of the rehabilitation to manage injuries, but then our goal is to take our clients from that injury state back to a performance state, which is why we have invested into a significant amount of equipment that you would see at any good gym to be able to train people on our equipment so they can move those exercises into their workout as they go back to their training and their conditioning. So is it more down the front?
Yeah,
or is it?
it's here, but it's definitely affecting all pressing.
We're going to do our little razzle dazzle and you're strong, you're weak, and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
that's my favorite.
So here's one thing that Andrew will want to catch. So this is new technology for us. This is called a butterfly, and it's a real-time ultrasound. So now when someone gets injured, we can actually scan the tissue with the reliability of an MRI to be able to see, is there a tear? Do they need to be sent to someone like Dr. Tallman for Prolo?
Right.
Or is it just a trigger point that we need to get in there to release versus just sort of with
if I'm pregnant, because it's got...
Well, and if you're pregnant, or if your carotid arteries are blocked,
or if maybe you just ate a big lunch.
Too much visceral fat. So that is kind of new technology. Now, granted, I have to learn how to use it a little bit better, but it's going to make us more precise at being able to fix athletic individuals without sending them in the vacuum of the medical world.
Not knowing if they actually
go get an MRI, go get this, go get that. Oh, you're fine. Well, then you just dumped a lot of money for no good
thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's my newest toy. So let me see here, Dusty.
The testing begins.
The testing begins.
This is where he makes me look like a bitch.
Yeah. So we'll go overhead. Yeah. So was there a moment in time where it's like ping out?
No, it just slowly progressed.
Ooh, your external rotation is terrible. Have you even seen Tom?
No, I haven't seen anybody for 2 months.
2 months. Wow. Well, we know
I've been traveling too much.
Have you? Yeah. So there's his normal, right? 180 degrees. And when Dusty's clavicle gets stuck, subluxes, he loses, if you go from a side view there. So that's his end of range now, 170 if we're lucky. So the only way he's going to get there to 180 is to over stretch, for lack of better words, his rhomboids and his traps to try to get to that 180 degrees. And then that locks up his pec, which then he loses his external rotation, which is going to make pressing so painful getting out of it.
Yeah.
Because there's what you should have. Now, we've always struggled to have,
it's not
you're going to
great.
have a little less, but when it's this tight, like getting in and out of it, it's going to be like you're snapping a
Like I said, when I let go of the bar, I'm like, oh shit.
So that's, and then when we look at his shoulder abduction, like for a lateral raise, there's where he pretty much binds up. So anything going above 90 or even getting there, he's going to overuse his trap, which then puts the risk of him hurting his neck. So, which has also been a prior episode of care. Whereas, so you can smoothly get to 180 degrees here, and nothing binds us up. So these are the little tests that show me where I need to focus. Whereas there, he's already bound up. The only way I'm going to get there is if he goes into that range, which is not good.
Even doing that, I can feel.
Yep. And so then here comes my fun part. Andrew, swing around this way for me. So test his abduction. Because of the inhibition of what's going on at the clavicle, hold for me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
That's my full resistance strength. Hi.
Hi.
Don't worry.
This is Crystal. So and then we go into external rotation. Hold for me. Don't let me push. Come on. I should not be able to fold him up because, hold. You know, hold. But when we're done, it'll be 100%.
It's actually weird when he does this, because when he's doing it, this side doesn't feel like he's pushing.
I know.
And that's how I'm getting my ass handed to me. It's no bueno.
Yeah, that's the crazy way. Now, because he's so freaking big, I can't find the end of his clavicle. So we have to, most of the time we'd assess it here sitting, but we're going to go on his stomach where I can actually feel it move. But we're going to have to get, and if you watch here, he develops this lovely trigger point. So if you watch that contraction, that's an abnormal response. So his front deltoid
Shouldn't do that.
should not do that. It's overactive because that's what happens when the clavicular joint gets stuck. So then anything in front pressing, front raise, lateral raise, it's going to feel like you're getting knifed in the shoulder. So now grab the clavicle, and as I push, normally I should be able to pivot this thing around. Whereas if we come to this side, I'm in the exact same situation. Back down, and I grab his clavicle. We can see it wiggle. Okay, and that's supposed to happen here. But you can see I can push very hard, no wiggle. Okay, so now after we did the magic trick and fixed the clavicle, when we take Dusty's arm overhead without forcing it, 180 degrees. His abduction, no stickiness, 180 degrees. Arm up, don't let me push. Max effort like you should be able to do. Hold, don't let me push. Max effort.
You guys knew the 30 minutes we just took to fix this. All right, it might have been 3 seconds, but still.
Good.
Is some of it because the machines aren't made
For you.
for me?
Yeah.
Because the one thing is, like, obviously my back pushes me more forward
Right.
than someone else.
Well, that's like the hammer strength, right? I get in the hammer strength at EOS,
Right,
and the bar's traveling in a front deltoid position.
right.
You're
For me, it's fine.
4 times thick, so you're
Right.
still doing a behind the neck press unless you flip around
Right,
and do it forward,
Right.
and make the machine do what it's not designed for.
right.
That's the only way, or like how Dante was on the incline
Yeah,
press.
and we do that sometimes, but I'll
that's
be
what
both.
that's what's happening is where you get your heavy on that hammer.
Right.
It's still almost like you're doing a behind the
Right.
neck press.
Yeah, because that bar is actually going through my head, it
Right.
would be, yeah.
But the behind the neck press on the Smith takes you into further external rotation, which then just puts more compressive load there, and it gets more tenuous as to
Right.
it just getting stuck. From your years of hockey and checking people and that, you probably have got some degeneration in this joint, which is
Right.
going to make it a little more susceptible. So then you take the tightness, and then it's even easier for this thing to get hung up.
Right.
The first time we manipulated it, I had to really whack it. Today it was pretty easy.
Yeah, it was like one tap.
Yeah,
I think we did a couple the first
Yeah,
time.
but it's because you weren't as bad, but it was enough to start
Right.
really locking you. You can see the motion and strength changes.
Health,
but I just don't think it ever. It's probably got to this point because it didn't get.
But it wasn't lingering like since.
Yeah,
then,
no, I
that
didn't
way.
like deal with it every day.
Gotcha. Okay. There we go. That's a good one too. Can you see those pretty good on the camera? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Yeah, nice. That's what we wanted right there. All right, boss.
Gracias. All right, so we're all finished up here. As always, this is what I've been talking about on the regular with you guys with the dry needling. Is it's not that I don't support doing all the other tissue work, doing the scraping, do the stretch therapy, all that stuff. But sometimes, literally, Dom, who does all of my tissue work, if we have something that's really hard and really deep, he literally, as soon as he touches me, will be like, "Call Jason," because it just that speeds up all the work. But the big key is, like Jason had said earlier, is you got to keep this stuff going. So for me, with my body being not really necessarily made for the machines anymore, if I don't stay ahead of this stuff, it'll end up holding me back. So when we have these instances where it kind of immediately hits me, I get lucky every now and then, get right in. But what you want to do is be doing this regularly. Like, don't wait until you're fucked up to come see people. Get it regular on the schedule. It'll save you a ton of money and also save you a lot of lost time and gains, because when you're down, you're screwed. It's over. So they can stay on top of it. They do all the testing even before you're injured. And he'll do testing on my range of motions where I don't even think I'm off and go, ooh, you're already screwed here, and get ahead of it. So keep that in mind. Is, you know, like I tell you guys, when you want to make a living out of this, the first step is make a bunch of money so you can afford to do all this shit. Keeps you healthy. So get in, and if you guys are anywhere near Scottsdale, come in here. I don't go anywhere else. I've been traveling for weeks lately. I haven't seen anyone, because if it's a needle, only Jason's allowed to stab me, because, well, him and women that don't like me anymore. So come see Jason and his whole crew here. Thankfully, it's not only him here anymore, so you guys can get in probably within a month or so.